Ever get that feeling like you just want to step out of the here and now for a bit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're doing something close. We're taking a deep dive into Japan's Showa era, but through its Junkissas, these amazing, unique, pure coffee shops.
Yeah, they're really something special. We've got this great article guiding us today from Retro Junkissa with a Showa-era atmosphere, Japanese OISHI foods.
Okay.
And our mission, really, is to help you understand what junkisas are all about, why they're suddenly getting so much attention,
Mm.
both in Japan and overseas.
Right. What's the secret sauce?
Exactly. What makes them special? Think of this as your shortcut to understanding this really cool cultural phenomenon.
Perfect. Okay, let's dive in. So first things first, what is a Junkissa?
Right. So the article defines them as pure coffee shops. They really came into their own during the Showa period.
Which is what, roughly 1926 to 89, for context.
Yeah, that's the one. And the whole point was focusing on coffee, maybe some light snacks. They were deliberately different from earlier places, the ones in the Taisho or early Showa eras that might serve alcohol or have more elaborate service.
Ah, okay, so that pure part is key. The article mentions jun means pure or unmixed.
Precisely. It was a conscious decision.
Hmm.
And what's fascinating is how they're viewed. Now, they really capture this unmistakable Showa-era retro vibe.
A vintage feel.
Totally.
Yeah.
And that's hitting a nerve, apparently, with both foreign tourists and, interestingly, younger Japanese people, too.
So definitely not just your average modern coffee shop then. The article highlights some key differences. Let's talk atmosphere first.
Yeah, that's a big one. A Junkissa just feels retro. Showa-era, retro. Lots of wood, sometimes stained glass, maybe old clocks.
Like stepping back in time.
Exactly. The article even notes these weren't accidental touches. They often came from the original owner really wanting to create a kind of luxurious special space. Makes you think about their vision.
Yeah, definitely. Compare that to, say, a Starbucks or something.
Right. Modern cafes are often going for that contemporary look, right?
Mm.
Sleek, maybe minimalist, fashionable, especially for younger crowds. It's just a completely different sensory world.
And this older Junkissa aesthetic, maybe it feels a bit dated to some in Japan, but for visitors, it taps into this maybe romanticized idea of that era.
Yeah, I think so. That period of economic growth, that mix of old and new, it has a certain allure, especially for Western visitors, maybe. It
Uh,
feels distinctly Japanese in a way that modern global chains don't.
okay, and the menu, another major difference.
Oh, absolutely. Junkisas lean towards those classic light comfort meals. The article mentions Neapolitan pasta, omelet rice.
Comfort food classics.
Exactly. And generally, no alcohol. It's this unique thing the article calls coffee shop gourmet that sort of evolved only in Japan. Real nostalgic flavor.
Plus, each place might have its own unique dishes. Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, original menus are common. Adds to the discovery. Oh, and cream soda. Can't forget that.
Right. The article says it's super visual, great for photos.
Definitely. Very Instagrammable, you could say. Bright colors, retro glass. It pops.
Whereas a modern cafe usually has a much broader menu, right?
Oh.
Food, drinks, often alcohol included.
Yeah, much wider range. And there's even a difference in the type of business license. Junkies typically have a coffee shop business license, limiting them to simpler hot food prep.
Okay.
Cafes usually operate under a restaurant business license,
Mhm.
letting them do more complex cooking and service.
Gotcha. So all these little things add up to make Junkies feel like a real window into old school Japanese culture.
It's it, exactly.
Yeah.
And the article actually breaks down the appeal into three main attractions. First is that atmosphere we were talking about.
That Showa era retro vibe.
Yeah, it's more than just decor. It's about transporting you. The article stresses how these interiors often reflect the founder's personal vision, their effort to make it feel, well, a bit luxurious for the time.
Creates a different feeling, maybe warmer than a chain place.
Definitely warmer, almost like being in an old movie.
Yeah.
And that's appealing, not just for nostalgia's sake. For tourists, it feels fresh and authentically Japanese.
The article even links it to Dagashia culture, those little old candy shops.
Right. And the dagashi, the candies themselves, it suggests they both tap into this sort of original landscape of Japan, a kind of shared cultural feeling.
Like a community feel, maybe, that you don't get so much now.
Exactly. A sense of shared space and experience.
Okay, so atmosphere is number one. What's the second attraction?
The menu. That richly unique menu. It's not just standard fare.
Right, the coffee shop gourmet again. Neapolitan, cream soda.
Those traditional snacks and drinks with that specific nostalgic taste. And again, the fact that each shop often has its own unique twist or specialty, it makes exploring them more fun.
And the visual appeal, like with the cream soda? Bright, colorful, shareable online.
Yeah, that's a surprisingly big part of it now, especially for visitors sharing their experiences.
Okay, and the third attraction.
This one's about people, the interaction with the owner, with the regulars.
Ah, the human element.
Exactly. The article talks about the warm, welcoming vibe in places that have often been around and loved for decades. The owners often really foster that. It connects to that Japanese concept of omotenashi.
Which is like anticipating guest needs. Deep hospitality.
Precisely. Sincere hospitality. It's described as humanistic customer service, which feels, different from a big chain where interactions can be more transactional.
Yeah, you get a chance to actually connect, maybe learn something about the area, the history.
Right. Experience that Japanese hospitality firsthand.
Yeah.
That personal connection is a huge draw.
Okay, this is great context. Now, the article actually gives some specific examples, right, to make it more concrete. Starting near Tokyo.
It does. First up, Coffee Oho in Ueno, founded back in '75.
Wow, a real veteran. What's their thing?
Wide menu cream soda, Neapolitan, the classics. But they specifically mention an excellent egg sandwich with a whole omelet inside. And again, that retro Showa feel is highlighted as being really fresh for foreign visitors.
Cool. Who's next?
Kayaba Coffee in Yanaka. Even older, established 1938, though apparently closed and then reopened thanks to local support, which is a nice story.
Definitely. Special.
Lucian, which is a mix of coffee and cocoa and also egg sandwiches. It's a tourist hotspot because of the retro vibe and that friendly local service feel.
And then there's a really unusual one, Cafe Shinkai.
Yeah, this one's wild. It's inside a public bath, the Jujo U.
No way. Inside a bathhouse.
Yep, talk about unique. Their menu sounds fun too. Cream soda in goldfish bowl glasses. A dessert called Onano pudding.
Wow.
The article calls the combo a Sento bathhouse. And a Junkissa, a rare and pretty extraordinary experience in Japan.
I'll bet. Okay, what about outside Tokyo?
Yeah.
Osaka gets some mentions too.
It does. First, jewelry in Kanojiku, described as cozy, quiet,
Sounds nice.
known for good breakfast and light meals, and particularly
Yeah.
high-quality coffee. And that welcoming, sort of at-home atmosphere is apparently great for tourists.
Okay, another one.
Junkissa Swan in Abito Ward. This one sounds different. Big, high ceilings, bright space.
More open.
Yeah. Popular for light meals like waffles. Lots of seats, so good for groups. And its unique atmosphere is also a draw for visitors. There's a little note about its name in Japanese, too.
Interesting. And one more in Osaka.
It's Arabia Coffee Shop in Namba. Historic place. Simple, but really flavorful coffee, loved by the locals.
Good sign.
And it's near tourist spots, so easy to pop in for that retro show experience. Just be aware, the article mentions it has somewhat irregular closing days.
Good tip. Okay, so we have these amazing places. How do you really soak it all in? The article has tips for enjoying them fully.
It does. First, it says to really observe the space design.
Pay attention to the details.
Exactly. See the owners taste the wood, the stained glass, maybe seasonal decorations. It gives an example. Kinomi in Koiwa uses artificial flowers to create different seasonal feelings depending on where you sit.
That's thoughtful.
Yeah, it encourages you to kind of imagine the story behind the owner's choices.
Nice. What else?
Listen to the music. Think about the history. The owner's taste in music often shapes the vibe.
Background music matters.
Definitely. Coffee shop Raya in Kuramai, as mentioned, plays female jazz singers like Billie Holiday, has paintings from a local carnival. It's about connecting the sounds and sights to their context.
Makes sense. And the third tip.
Explore interactions. That human connection idea, again.
Talk to people.
Yeah, if it's not too busy. Chat with the owner, ask about the coffee, or maybe ask regulars for tips on hidden local spots. It's part of experiencing that omotenashi.
Get the inside scoop.
Exactly. Hear about the popular menu items from the people who know.
Okay, great advice. Now, what if you can't get to Japan right now, but you love this vibe? The article mentions bringing it home.
It does, yeah. Suggests you can find items online, like on Amazon, to recreate a bit of that Junkissa feel.
Oh, like what?
Specifically recommends Adaria retro tumblers. Mentions their cute retro designs, come in sets with different patterns, even with wooden coasters. Made in Japan, too.
Ah, those classic shapes.
Yeah. And also, Adiria Mizuki Sunday Parfait glasses. Stylish, footed glasses, perfect for desserts. Ice cream, making your own fancy coffee drink at home.
It's true, the right glass can make a difference. That retro tableware definitely adds to the experience.
For sure. Oh, and one last quick thing. The article had a little side note, a column, about Showa,
Those songs from the Showa era.
Yeah, mentioning how they're getting popular globally now
Yeah.
and how they often provide the perfect soundtrack in a Junkissa. Might be another deep dive topic there.
Could be. So wrapping things up then, Junkissas are clearly way more than just coffee shops.
Absolutely. They're like living time capsules, offering this unique cultural hit through the atmosphere, the specific food and drinks,
Hmm.
and those real human connections you can make.
Yeah, they seem to have this special appeal, both for Japanese people looking for nostalgia and for visitors wanting a genuine taste of that Showa period.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? This whole deep dive makes you wonder what other everyday places around us, in our own towns, might hold similar hidden layers of culture and stories.
Yeah, like what seemingly ordinary spots are actually waiting to be discovered if we just, look a little closer. Maybe there's a local equivalent offering a peek into the past or a different way to connect. Food for thought.
Definitely. Always worth looking beyond the surface.